Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Nintendo Rewind. My name's Cody Christian, and I am joined by my illustrious co-host. I forgot which way I needed to turn to point to you. Chris Becker! Oh, man, we are rewinding and recapping last week for Nintendo, focusing this week on everything that you missed during the Donkey Kong Bonanza Direct. And that being said, before we dive into it, I want to thank you guys for being here. YouTube, if you're watching, please leave a like and a subscribe. Is that what we do nowadays? Do we like and subscribe?
That's what it is, yes.
Comment and say hi. And if you're watching on Twitch, know you're our favorite child. But Chris, howdy ho, neighbor. How you doing? I need to throw a fence in front of your face so you can be Wilson from Home Improvement.
Oh, that would be good. That would be nice. That would be wonderful.
I wouldn't even have to animate your mouth moving anymore.
But still have it move, just no one will be able to see it.
Yep, nor your shirt change. They'd see your fist over the fence, but that's about it. It'd just be like from nose down. No one would know what you look like. Did they ever reveal what Wilson from Home Improvement looked like? I bet we could find it.
There was one episode, I think, where they kept showing him from behind the fence, but every stuff kept getting into his face, and then I think he revealed his face one time.
I hate it. Hang on one second. Let me show it to the people. Let me pull it up here. I hate it. This is Wilson from Home Improvement. This is him right there. That's Wilson. The man of many of all the information. Now you know. Now we know what he looks. Oh crap! I've clicked on IMDb listings and everything. Oh man, how are you doing, Chris?
I'm doing wonderful. Great. Never been better. How about yourself? How are you doing? How's that pool going? How's the pH balance?
That pH balance is going well. For those who don't know, I've got a pool outside that the wife and I have been working on the last I don't know, like a month. It feels like trying to get it to balance out. We didn't put a pool cover on it, partly because my wife read somewhere that it's not good to put a pool cover on it, and it could make the pool, because it's an above ground pool, it can make the pool explode. It could make it explode. That being said, we've been trying to dig all the crap that flew into it during fall and winter and spring and trying to get it balanced out. It hasn't been warm enough to do a full on pool day anyway. It's just been kind of I don't know. Like, it's just not been good enough for it. So the wife just did a backwash, shocked it, and put clarifier in it. She surprised it, man. She surprised it. It's shocked. I tell you, it's shocked.
How shocked was it?
How shocked was it? Oh man, boy, are my arms tired. But no, like it's been good. It's been good.
Yeah.
I didn't have to do art class today, and so I didn't. I ended up playing. Okay, so let me tell you this. I decided. I was like, I don't really want to start over in Pokemon Violet because I have a lot of Pokemon that I IV and EV train for the 7-star Black Crystal Terra Raid battles. And I really didn't want to lose them because I grew attached to them. So I was like, I'm going to transfer that save data over to my Switch 2 finally because I hadn't started Pokemon Violet yet. And then I was like, well, while I'm at it, there's one other game that I know that you have to do like some sort of weird transfer situation with Animal Crossing because I didn't do like the full-on system transfer when I got my Switch. I just set it up like new. And I was like, I'm just going to pretend like I never had a Switch. And so I set it up like new, linked to my Nintendo account. Now, it had all of my purchases, and I could download my save data from the save data cloud, no issues, and all my stuff would still be on my old system, and I don't have to start from scratch on that if I ever want to bust it out. No, that is a major pain. I did not realize how frustrating it is to like the Pokemon game wasn't so bad. Like it was like a normal to transfer your save data to another console kind of situation. It wasn't save data cloud, so it's not as easy, but it was still pretty easy. You go to the home screen, you press your plus button on it, and you manage software. Manage save data rather, and then you send it to the other Nintendo Switch while it's saying it's ready to receive the data. That was easy. The Animal Crossing one, oh my god, dude! Like having to go in, download a secondary app called the Island Transfer app, which I didn't know about. Also having to go into the system settings and make sure that the online backups are enabled. Or not online backups. I don't even save backups, island backups. I don't know what it's called. But I had to go and do that and deal with Tom Nook lecturing me for like 20 minutes on how to do it properly. And I'm like, you can stop now. I am following an online guide. I don't need your commentary, sir. And then I finally got it all transferred over. By the time I got the Animal Crossing game updated on the Switch 2 and everything else, I was like, I'm just going to play Pokemon. So that's what I've done for the past, I don't know, 2 hours was I played some of the Blueberry Academy because I realized I haven't finished that yet. I did the Kitakami region, but I didn't do the Blueberry Academy area. And of course I beat the main like base game, but I don't know. Blueberry Academy is weird. I don't necessarily enjoy it, but I do feel like I like this better than I remembered liking the Kitakami Ogre Pond storyline. There's just so much talking in that DLC, and there's a whole lot less in this one.
I heard names being said, but
I went on a rant, and I just kept talking, and you just signed out of the chat. Chris is like, I'm good, I'm done.
I was listening, but it sounds like a pain. It sounds like I would just start over, you know?
I think you would. Knowing how you are, I think you definitely would be like, you know what? I'll just start over.
It's fine. And then, you know, I think, what is the game that you started over the most, but played the least?
Out of all of history? Like out of every game?
Every game, yeah. Yeah.
Crucify me if you must, but Link to the Past.
Oh, well.
Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. I've started over the most, but played the least. Before that, I would have said Super Mario RPG, but I've actually completed that game. I have fully completed that game. I have done the opening of A Link to the Past so many times, I could probably speedrun it easily. Like, I've done it so many times, I keep trying to give it a shot, but it has a little bit of that aged Zelda charm that, like, that isn't present in games like Minish Cap or, you know, Link's Awakening. Link to the Past has that aged, like, it definitely feels like, it feels closer to Zelda 1 than it does to Minish Cap. You know what I mean?
No, I don't, because Link to the Past is the second best, well, third best Legend of Zelda game there is. Number one, Legend of Zelda 2. Number 2, Link Between
Your
Worlds.
opinion has immediately been invalidated.
Number 3, Link to the Past. Number 4, everything other than Ocarina of Time.
It's just not my order. I would order it differently. We're burning a topic here. We could probably revisit this one later, but you know what? Let's burn a little bit of a topic. I'll do my top 3, and then we can argue with each other on S tier to F tier on Zeldas later. But my top 3, it will change from time to time. But my number 1 that I often say is my number 1 is Minish Cap. Minish Cap is amazing. It's so freaking good. And yeah, it's not a Nintendo game. It's a Capcom game. But I love that game. It was the first game I streamed on Twitch. Like, it was the first game I ever streamed. But I really love Minish Cap. My number 2, I would probably say, and I'm trying to not let it be recency bias so much, but I really love Tears of the Kingdom. I love Tears of the Kingdom. That game is so good, so much fun. There's so much to do in it. It's so open. And I really, really like it. And then my number 3, probably Link's Awakening. It's either Link's Awakening or Wind Waker is probably what I would say.
Okay, yeah. So
we have very different taste in Zeldas.
So ranking the Zeldas is gonna be fun.
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is. Susie says they do not want you to be able to keep your old Switch as is. Nintendo turns. No, they don't. Back to the complaint about transferring systems, but at least in Zelda, I didn't have to transfer a save. It actually went to the save data cloud. That's fun.
Yeah, well, that's good. It actually worked.
Oh man, how's your pH balance going?
My pH balance is great. Thank you for asking. I've been taking this gummy that I found on TikTok shop, and my pH balance has been through the roof.
I think that's not good. You want it to be balanced, not all the way through the roof or all the way to the floor. You need it in between. It's got to be in between. Oh my gosh.
It's Arsenio Hall levels. Yeah, it is. Shop till you drop. Remember that show where you would you would see somebody run to the back and just put as many frozen turkeys as they could in their cart?
Yeah, that was a supermarket sweep, wasn't it?
Yeah, I love that show. I don't know what it was, but that just over here just sweeping up that supermarket. And Bozo the Clown, where you gotta throw the ping pong in the cup.
Get out of here. I hate Bozo the Clown. I hate clowns in general. Clowns, all of them. Look, I know they're just trying to bring joy to children, but no, count me out. No clowns. Keep them far away from me.
From Modern Family.
Who's Cam? I've never watched Modern Family. Why should
you're missing out?
Well, is it a dramedy? Is that what it is though? Isn't it?
Cam. Hold on, Modern.
Do not send me this photo. I will not. I will instantly delete it from the chat.
Fizbo. His name's Fizbo the Clown. Okay. Yeah.
How do you feel about clowns?
That's a real clown name. I don't mind clowns except for the one that was a serial killer, but I don't mind.
But you like that one, or do you hate that one?
No, I did not. I don't like that one. I mean, no, I don't like that one whatsoever. The human mind is fascinating. So, have you ever seen Mindhunters?
Probably, but remind me what it is. What is Mindhunters?
It's the one before there was the term serial killers. They went and interviewed them in real life.
Oh, this is on Netflix.
Yeah, it's the Netflix show based on the people that went and did it. Well, it's loosely based on them, I should say. But they went and interviewed them to try and see if there was a pattern they could find when there was a serial killer. This was before cameras catch everything. Well, except for John O'Keefe's murder. But
Free Luigi.
Wait, no, Karen Reed, not Luigi.
Free
He's
Luigi.
a murderer.
No, he's not. No, he's not. Has that been proved? Did we know that? Did he get convicted?
He has not been convicted yet. No.
Oh man, Free Luigi.
Innocent till proven guilty, I suppose.
Did you see how he stared down every enemy on Mario Kart? He's definitely a murderer.
Are you talking about Luigi?
Yeah.
Or Luigi Mario?
Yeah, Luigi Mario. Wouldn't it be weird if he had a different, if his last name was Luigi? Like,
or Luigi Toad.
Yeah, it's just so off topic. Oh man.
But yeah, no. I was gonna say something. What was I gonna say?
You were talking about mind hunters, and then I got you off on the topic of and you said something about before cameras caught everything.
Oh yeah.
He's Mario's half brother. Mario's half brother. Luigi. They have two different dads.
They're stepbrothers. Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's cooling down the next few days. Has it been hot there for you?
Oh, it's been blistering hot. I feel like we are stammering so much it feels like we don't have anything to talk about, but we do have a whole lot to talk about. But I'm going to stay with you. I'm staying here with you until you're ready to move on. To answer your question, it is blisteringly hot. Like, it was 96 degrees yesterday. We got in the pool today. The pool water. The water inside of the pool. And it's not a hot tub. It is a pool. Was 87 degrees Fahrenheit, almost 88. And then when I went out to tell the wife, I was like, I'm going downstairs to call Chris for pre-show. She said it was over 88 degrees. She said the water in there was over 88 degrees. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. It's like a sauna in there.
Yeah. It was like a high of 101 today, and it felt like 108, it said, but it was 101. And then in terms of heat right now, it's 83, but feels like 89. But it does say over the next 3 days it's going to be warmer. So tomorrow it's only a high of 96, but by Friday
only a
it's
high
going
of 96.
Yeah, but by Friday it's going to be a high of 70. So and then it'll get back up there, but it's because it's raining some Thursday night and Friday. So that'll be why. Let me see. In terms of, I forget what I was going to say. I don't remember.
So other plans for tonight though, as soon as we wrap up this episode, and I need everybody in the chat. I need everybody in chat to go and watch Ironheart on Disney Plus, because these things need supported, because clearly Disney isn't supporting them. Like, they did not say anything hardly about, like, it took them, I think we got our first real trailer for it 3 weeks ago, for Ironheart, maybe 4 weeks ago. Their marketing strategy for that has been say nothing and then hope people watch it. And I need people to watch that. I know, look, MCU projects haven't been great, but here's why you should. The producer on it is Ryan Coogler. Ryan Coogler recently directed Sinners, which is one of, if not the highest grossing movie in a very, very long time, at least an R-rated horror film. Very good movie, very good film. And I expect Ironheart to be actually really, really good too. So I'm looking forward to finishing up the show tonight. That sounds really bad, but I want to talk to you. It's just I want to watch Ironheart.
And if you don't watch that, just know that The Bear season 4 is out tomorrow. So you can watch the entire season. As of right now, in terms of Ironheart, there is just the first 3 episodes.
Yeah, so first half of the season. Yeah, and the rest of it comes out next Tuesday on the 1st.
Yeah. How do you feel about them releasing multiple episodes chunks.
I kind of
They
hate
sort
it.
of did the same thing with what's it called?
Daredevil.
Right?
They did it weirdly with Daredevil Born Again.
Weirdly with Daredevil,
where it
and
was
then
like 2 episodes
it was
one
like
day,
2 at a
and
time,
then
and then
one episode, and then 3 suddenly. This is like they couldn't
Right,
figure out
'cause
what
the-
their release schedule was going to
The
be.
one episode was like a filler, but then they were like, "Oh shoot, it needs to be over before this week because this new show starts." And then, yeah, they did the same sort of thing with the. So the Ironheart is out, and then,
I don't like
Andor season 2.
binging.
They did like, was it 2 episodes?
Yeah.
Or 3
Yeah.
episodes a week? Yeah.
I just don't like binging. Like, I'm not a binger usually. I don't mind waiting a week. I like being able to sit with my media and wait and then, like, have some time to let it digest before I get the next thing. And on top of that, like, you and I, we had so many conversations about Daredevil Born Again. Like, it encourages those water cooler moments where, like, if you've got time to wait and it comes out, next week, you can talk about what you expect to happen in the following week. It's just like so much more fun than like, yeah, I binged the full season and it's over now. Like, why?
Right. Well, here's the thing. I don't mind. I will binge if you give me the opportunity.
Oh, you are a binger. I'm not surprised at all. I would totally classify you as a TV binger.
Here's the problem. When I do binge, then when the next season comes out, I'm like, I don't remember what happened. But if I watch week to week, then I do remember.
Yeah, you've got time to think about it, like, and actually digest what happened.
Week. Yeah, like I can remember more of what happened in the in Severance than I can, the Bear season 1 through 3. I remember like the Christmas or Thanksgiving episode where they were all at the house. I remember that episode. Last season I didn't like as much. Season 3 of the Bear.
I will say,
I still watched every episode.
Severance pissed me off because every week was a massive cliffhanger. Every week.
Yeah.
Like they needed to give me a reason to come back. I don't need a reason to come back. The show's good enough to stand on its own 2 legs.
Right.
You don't have to cliffhanger me every single episode.
Right.
So, like,
you could tell that like they enjoyed watching like those shows that would be like it's kind of like some shows that are binging shows, like they would do that at the end of an episode where it's like, oh, I want to keep watching because of the way this episode ended. Other shows, some shows don't do that at all.
No.
Like I feel like Ironheart, they'll have the first 3 episodes and then something crazy will happen at the end of episode 3 and you'll be like, oh shoot, now I want to watch episode 4, and then you got to wait a whole week.
Which, I mean, that's fine. Like, the way that the wife and I are going to watch it, and the way we usually watch bingeable shows, oftentimes is we'll watch 1 episode a night. Unless it does end on a crazy cliffhanger, and it's like, oh, we got to keep... Like, Squid Game ended...
If
like,
you're really into it, yeah.
Yeah, like, Squid Game had some pretty good cliffhangers that we were like, okay, well, we've got time. We can power through another episode, right? So we would watch a 2nd episode, but most of the time, like, we'll drip feed it anyway. Yeah. What would Corehead do?
Chris do, yeah.
Oh, yeah, what would
Corehead.
Chris do? Yeah, well, that's what her nickname is. It's Courthead, Mrs. Nerdwire, Courtney.
Oh, Courthead, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was the whole reason I called her Court. And then I was getting harassed.
By who?
In what do you mean by who?
That is a legitimate question. What do you mean? What do you mean by who?
Your sister.
Why was she harassing you for calling her Court?
Because she would say nobody calls her that.
I call her that.
She said everyone calls her
Usually
Courtney.
call her Courtney, call her Court, call her Courthead, call her Court Face, call her Court Poop. Like, it's just all kinds of different court names. Like,
that's sweet. Yeah. You're courting.
Yeah. I'm courting my wife. And I honestly, like, I'm thankful she allowed me to. You know who else I'm thankful for? Our amazing supporters and producers over at NintendoRewind.com. If you would like to directly support our content, every dollar spent on memberships and merch helps us continue to produce this show. And there's even a tier that only costs $1 a month, and with it, you still get a shout out right here. That said, I want to thank our supporters, Kiatic and Shinybird, and our producers, Calamity Nolan and Sierra Christian, for all of their gracious support. Yeah, I'm super thankful for that. Like it's allowed us to be able to get quite a few different things. So that's been good. That's been really, really good. Speaking of, welcome in Kiatic into the live chat. Chris, are you ready to get this party started? Have we chit chatted? And I mean, we're 30 minutes deep in on this episode, and we've even
chatted
done
enough. Yeah,
all
let's finish this. Let's wrap up the episode.
Let's go talk some freaking Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Fast forward. Here we go.
This last week on Wednesday morning, it was Wednesday morning, wasn't it? I can't even remember anymore. I think it was Wednesday morning. We had
it was announced Monday. And it was on Wednesday. Yeah.
We did the predictions last week, and we got quite a bit, I think, right? Chris more than myself. I had a lot more stuff that was a wish list than it was more of an actual prediction. But Chris had quite a bit right, and that direct came, and it went, and it was really, really cool. It was super exciting. We did a live presentation of it on Wednesday morning. With everybody and had a good time. But there were quite a few details it feels like they blazed past that I don't think any of us were necessarily ready for. And the first thing, I still think it's hilarious. The first thing is this is this like montage sizzle reel of all these like touching sweet moments, even though it looks like Donkey Kong wants to murder Oddrock, between DK and Oddrock. And I looked at Chris and I was like, this feels like, are they gonna murder Oddrock? Are they getting rid of Oddrock and replacing him with Pauline? And literally the very next scene that popped, the very next scene was Oddrock is Pauline. I kind of lost my mind. But Chris, how did you feel about the direct overall? You've had some time to sit with it. I mean, it's been almost a week since it rolled out. And how did you feel about the direct?
It has been almost a week. I liked being right about a lot of things, like the amiibo. Yeah, I mean, I think more than ever, I believe this is the Odyssey team.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's making this game. Yeah. Thoroughly enjoyed the direct. Excited to see just how much meat is on the bones when the game actually comes out, and like what, because they showed us quite a bit, but there's still going to be a lot that they didn't show us, I imagine.
Yeah.
Even for stuff like, like in Mario Odyssey, like at the end of Mario Odyssey, they had a bunch of like Easter egg stuff for big time Nintendo fans. I hope they do something similar here with this.
Do you think we get a Donkey Kong 64 outfit for DK? Is that what you're predicting?
Yeah, that's what I would love. That would be great.
Oh man, suddenly you unlock Lanky, Chunky, Tiny, and Diddy Kong to be able to play as in Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Yeah. It's just the skin. Yeah.
Honestly, Lanky might be the only clown that I like. He might be the only clown I'm okay with. But no, we wanted to highlight. Do what?
A Pauline outfit where she just wears like a Diddy Kong outfit. She looks like Diddy Kong on your shoulder.
Man, I kind of hope not. Like, I saw how it looked when Mario was wearing it, and it was horrifying. So, like in Mario Odyssey, I kind of don't need that horror being dropped. But no, like we wanted to go through and kind of highlight some details that maybe you missed when you were watching the direct, and some other things that kind of came out post-direct via the Japanese website and some of the demo information. We've got a list. I said 10 things. It may end up being just a little bit more than 10 things. And some of the stuff is going to be stuff that eagle-eyed viewers probably most definitely didn't miss. But there were a couple of things. I'm going to kick it off with this first piece here. And this first piece is going to be the getaways that they've announced here. One of the biggest problems with with RPG style mechanic games is that sometimes when you want to change your gear or change your outfit, change your look, and have a little bit better of a loadout, it does kind of force you to go to your rest areas. That was one of the biggest complaints. Like back in Donkey Kong 64, when you wanted to change your Kong, you had to go forever away to change your Kong to make progress in that game, because there were a lot of areas that were locked out if you weren't playing as the proper Kong. And I was afraid we were going to have something similar here in the getaways. But what they ended up doing is a little bit of a function where you can build getaways where you can go and rest, regain your health, make sure that you play your music discs and different things like that you can collect. And it's honestly kind of good. There are two things you can do with these getaways. Hang on one second. I'm pulling it up here actually now that I've got it.
Pull it up, yeah.
But there are two things that you can do in these getaways. The first thing is that these give you the areas to be able to change your outfit. The second thing, though, is you can rest to regain all of your hearts, and it also allows you to check out the background music that you collect with the discs. And it's not only just one getaway per area either. A little bit of a segment in the game, in the actual like direct that they showed, was that you can see that you can build several. There was one moment where it said you've built 5 getaways in this area of the game. Okay. Which is freaking awesome, because what that shows us is that you're not going to have to be doing a whole crap ton of backtracking just to be able to get to a specific getaway. You can kind of, if you have the gold to build it, build that getaway there. And the getaways, they only cost like 500 gold, and it seems like you accrue a lot of gold. But getaways, Chris, how do you feel about them? Are you excited? I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of customization is the only thing that kind of like I wish that I had in that, where I could, bed layout, closet layout, and music player layout. And I think that would be cool to have like customized versions of them. But I think it's just going to be, you pay your 500 gold and you build a checkpoint essentially.
Right. But I hope that each one looks a little bit different, or maybe depending on the area where you have it, it ends up looking a little different, or like something a little different when you're in like, down in the caves compared to like the beach area, like hopefully it's just slightly different, even though I don't expect it to be. I just expect the bed, the closet, like a jukebox, and that'd be it pretty much. I don't expect much else.
This is where it says you built 5 getaways in this layer. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with you. I mean, it looks like it's a pretty simple layout. It's like a gazebo style area,
right?
That's built into some rock. Maybe they'll have them out in the open air. But you get your weird polygon and banana language written on your hammock over there, and you've got your little record player. And then the closet's tucked away somewhere behind the big rock with the mustache over here. But yeah, I don't, there's not going to be a whole lot of customization when it comes to that, which is unfortunate. It makes me sad. But I mean, I understand it, but it does make me sad. How do you feel about it? Does it make you sad you're not going to get any customization because it makes me sad?
Yeah, well, it's like sometimes like when stuff like this happens, I have to be like, I just want to see what it is before I get to like let my mind start racing, because once it starts racing, then I'm like, oh, it would be so cool if they had this and that in there, and then they don't have any of it, and then I'm like, oh, I don't like it, even though it's still cool. It's just not what I imagined.
Right. And you want to move on to the next part, the next big thing that we learned from watching this?
Yeah, I mean, of course I do. Who the heck wouldn't? They got Diddy and Dixie, of course. They're here. This was another thing that we were talking about ahead of time. Obviously, they redesigned Diddy. We still didn't get that great of a look at Diddy. They seem to be part of the challenges. Like they were like showed off when they showed off the amiibo, and they were like, yeah, when you scan an amiibo, like you can get the Kong letters, and then so Donkey Kong picked one up and threw it, and it like kind of like smashed the desk that Diddy and Dixie were at, and then later on in the direct, a few minutes later, it was like towards the end anyway, but they showed them riding. You're doing like Ramby races, and yeah, but pour one out. As this is the closest we'll get to Diddy Kong Racing. I still don't know why. I understand why they don't have it on Nintendo 64 NSO, but at the same time, I feel like there must be more behind the scenes as to why they don't have that or Diddy Kong or Donkey Kong 64, because I don't know. I mean, they finally brought out Donkey Kong 94, right? So you would think maybe it's time to bring this one out.
Maybe bring out the prequel to 94-64.
Right.
That's
I feel like they just...
It's a lie. It's not that prequel. Let me just be clear. But
right, yeah. I feel like they won't have them until there's somebody at Nintendo that's like really... that was like a big Diddy Kong Racing fan or Donkey Kong 64 fan, and was like, we need to get these back out there. Like, they don't seem to be in much of a hurry. It must be something to do with negotiations between Nintendo and Microsoft, because they got, Banjo-Kazooie, for crying out loud, in Smash Brothers. They were able to work that out, but then, I mean, they even have a Banjo amiibo, but they can't get Diddy Kong Racing, and there must just be something going on with them arguing about the rights to those racers or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's quite a bit of original I mean, they've got Conker in there and a lot of other original characters that are involved in that, in actual Diddy Kong Racing. I would be really surprised, honestly, if we ever see an actual Diddy Kong Racing from Nintendo ever again. It would be really cool. This is the part that you were talking about with the it looks like challenge courses. Like they have the podiums that you can land on, and I think like there's a first and a second and a third that is around there as well. That you actually get to see. I'm trying to find that spot in the direct again. It's not super easy to find. You're right. It's like right after the amiibo.
Yeah, it was like right when they show what happens when you scan the amiibo. Right there.
Let me bump it forward. Go back.
There it is, right there. Yeah. Well, I'm behind too.
It's in between. It's in those 5 seconds. It's in those 5 seconds when I bounce forward 5 seconds. You miss a whole lot.
Then pause it and then use the period.
Here we go. But they show the podiums.
Frame by frame.
Yeah. They show the podiums here. Oh my gosh. I accidentally. No, stop it. Let's do this. There we go. They show the podiums there and behind them for first, second, and third, and there's a few different Rambys that are in the background too. A lot of people have been wondering, like, is Ramby a species or is Ramby a specific character in the DK universe? And I think Rambys are a species. I think they're a species because there's so many of them here. In the same way, which this one's like later on. In the topic, but in the same way, monkeys aren't just monkeys in this game, so I'll talk about that a little bit later, a little foreshadowing. But no, like, I like this. I think it's really cool. And I think the overall aesthetic of this game is really, really neat. I do wish that we would have had a little bit more Diddy and Dixie in the game as like your partners.
Yeah. They didn't even say their names.
No, which is crazy because they're such recognizable characters. But you're right. It didn't even say their names. It was just like, hey, here's Diddy and here's Dixie, and you're going to like it. And that's pretty much it. Do what?
Just the fact that they don't The fact that they just like took him out of Mario Kart. He's not, they don't even mention him by name in the direct. He's just kind of just there and not really in the spotlight at all. Like, it's giving real Inhuman vibes. It just, I don't, it just doesn't make any sense why they would just scrap Diddy. Like, he was like a big part of Donkey Kong since Donkey Kong Country.
Yep. I mean, you had Donkey Kong Country, you had Donkey Kong Country 2, where he was the lead character, Diddy Kong's Quest. And then he had his own racing game that came out a little bit later. He was the second character that you really used in Donkey Kong 64. Like, there's so much history there, and it does feel like he's been scrapped.
He was in all the sporting games, most of the sports.
Hot take. Yeah. The only reason I think Dixie is here is because Dixie was in the Mario Bros. Movie. That's the only reason I think Dixie made it in here.
Okay, yeah.
Otherwise, I think Cranky. They really would have scrapped her.
They mentioned Cranky, right? Mm-hmm. They got Cranky. They mentioned them. I wonder if it's just like a I don't even know, like the Nintendo Japan, like they just don't like them because they didn't create them. They were created by Rare.
Possibly. I don't know if it's so much that as just they don't want to dilute their messaging behind these are our flagship characters, Donkey Kong. I mean, like, you think about it. Like, who made it into Mario Kart World? Donkey Kong and Pauline, right? And they're here in this game. And they get marquee titles. The one that does surprise me is Cranky Kong. But Cranky, as acknowledged by Nintendo, is the original Donkey Kong. So I understand a little bit more why he's there. Granted, Nintendo doesn't necessarily always recognize their historia.
Right, like in Super Mario and Mario Kart, or Super Nintendo Mario Kart, wasn't that
Super Mario Kart?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always called him DK Jr. I always called him DK Jr. because he looked just like Donkey Kong Jr. from the Donkey Kong Jr. arcade game. So I think so. But I think he had a different name in that game too. I think it was Baby Kong. Kong.
Super in Mario Kart?
No, never mind. Wrong. I'm wrong. Super Mario Kart. We're going to do some real digging suddenly.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Donkey Kong Jr. But he was referred to as Baby Kong in the game. So it was Donkey Kong Jr.
Okay. Yeah, because even in the image that they show on... Yeah. In Mario Kart, when they showed like that flashback image, it had DK Jr. Do you think Pauline, I think I asked you this last week, but Pauline from this game going to make it into Mario Kart World?
No. I don't think they're going to do DLC characters unless they're making us pay for them. I don't think they're just going to randomly have these people appear. I would actually love it if she did. I think that would be awesome, and I'd be totally down for it. Because it's just such a unique body style for a character. Like, we've had the adult versions of all the regular classic heroes, and we've had the baby versions of all the regular classic heroes, but we've never had teenage version of the classic heroes. And it's kind of cool. And Pauline doesn't have a baby Pauline. This is the closest thing she's got to like baby Pauline is 13-year-old, which that in and of itself is crazy. And that's one of our other things here I guess we kind of have to. But Pauline got confirmed via the Japanese website that she is 13 years old. And can we talk about like how weird that is? Because she does not strike me as a 13-year-old. Like, I've never seen a 13-year-old that looks that childlike. that
How
has
old
those.
did you think she was?
I thought
when
she was
you-
like 8 to
beforehand?
10. I thought she was
Yeah.
8 to 10, like my kid's age. You know, like I did not expect her to be a teenager. Where's her cell phone? You know?
Right.
Like,
I know.
Where's her
I
bad
expect
attitude?
her to be. I mean, her talking, like she was talking a lot and singing a lot, but she didn't seem much older. Well, maybe a little bit older than Boo, from Monsters Inc.
Yeah,
Maybe like 2 years, 3 years older than that.
I would agree with that.
So like 5 or 7.
Mm-hmm. I would absolutely agree with that. I did not expect her to be dedicated as, or dictated, not dedicated, dictated as 13 years
She's
old.
dedicated to being 13.
She's so dedicated. She's got a hard work ethic at being 13. But 8 to 10 was what I was thinking. And honestly, like call me a little cynical, but I feel like a 13-year-old could probably get themselves out a whole lot more trouble than an 8 to 10-year-old, Like I feel I feel like there would be more necessity in having this giant monkey man carry you across the world to be able to go in and get to the center of the Earth's core and make your wish at the giant Banandium gem down below or whatever it is.
Right. I feel like there must be something keeping her there.
Yep.
And like Donkey Kong is helping her so that she can get back up.
Yep. So I don't know. I think it's really weird. I was just really surprised. Obviously, a lot of you guys already knew this. This is like a little bit older news. Like the website came out like a week ago and said that, but and there were several of you guys that threw it on the old Discord server. But it does lend credence to the fact that she is not transformed into a 13-year-old girl, but she does in fact actually appear to be a teenager, because there was a lot of theories out there that she was transformed into a 13-year-old, partly because her clothes look like they're too big for her, with her jeans being rolled up the way they are, and she's missing her shoes because her feet shrank, So like there was a lot of theory crafting going on that she was transformed into a 13-year-old. But the way the website describes it is she is definitely 100% 13 years old, not appears to be 13 years old, not transformed into 13 years old, but she is 13 years old. She got them Jinko pipes. She does have them Jinko pipes, keyword savior, in the live chat. That's so funny. But no, there was a lot of really, really cool stuff that was debuted on the Japanese website. But we do have quite a few other things here too to talk about. Chris, you want to talk about the next topic that may be something that people missed?
I would love to. They got those. They even mentioned it in the video, which was like the side-scrolling challenge courses, and it seems that they're inspired by Donkey Kong's history. They got like the one arcade level that is like the arcade game Donkey Kong, with the barrels and everything, and then
There's Bramble Scramble right there, just in that little spot there. That is Bramble Scramble. Let me back that up so that way people can get the view of it. If it will back up, come on now. It's wanting to buffer.
Yeah,
and just back it up 5 seconds. Yeah, this is absolutely an homage to Bramble Scramble with the background pattern that we got back then. The arcade level that you're talking about shows up a little bit later on in this, and they focus on that one for quite some time.
Right, yeah. So I wonder if that's just going to be like if we're going to be going there a lot, or yeah.
I think it's really cool too, because they have the throwback, and like you can even see like these girders kind of form the ladders that Mario would climb up on when he's in the original Donkey Kong arcade game. Right. And they've got the giant barrels that you've got to jump over that are flaming and rolling down the hill.
And DK can climb, so I wonder if he's able to just climb those pillars.
I feel like
if you can't because they're the challenge course.
Yeah, I feel like these challenge courses are exclusively 2D. Like, I feel like that's pretty much it. Like, you're not.
So it'll be like Mario without the flood.
Or in Odyssey,
Sunshine.
like Mario whenever he's doing the 2D sections when you go into the 8-bit pipes.
Yeah, okay.
It's kind of what I think. I could be wrong. Obviously, we haven't played it, but that's kind of what I think.
Yeah, only time will tell. Only time
Only time
will tell.
There are a bunch of classic tracks. Speaking of like throwbacks to the challenge courses, there are a bunch of like classic actual audio tracks that are making some comebacks with orchestrated remixed versions. They haven't given a number of courses that of tracks that you can expect in this game just yet. Like they did with Mario Kart World, they said we have 192 brand new orchestrated tracks coming to Mario Kart World. But in this one, they didn't really give us a number, although you can kind of see when they are collecting the discs in the game. You can kind of see when he pulls up the track list. I may have missed it. I did miss it. There's at least 101 listed here. Different pieces of music that you can get. Two of those that we definitely know that you can recognize that are played during the direct are Simeon Segway and DK Island Swing. But then the DK Rap, which during the direct I was like, this has to be in here. The DK Rap makes an appearance, but it's been retitled Getaway instead of the DK Rap. So I kind of feel like that's the signature song that you hear when you go to the getaways that you can build. But
okay, yeah.
Getaway is very clearly the DK Rap. Now, unfortunately, neither composers have claimed that they were aware of the inclusions. As a matter of fact, Grant Kirkhope, the guy who wrote and performed the DK Rap, said that he didn't even know it was going to be used in the game, and he was pretty dismissive about it, saying he doesn't expect to be credited for it. Partly because Nintendo, the way that they do their music, oftentimes they don't. When you make a piece of music for them, they claim full ownership of that piece of music. And so you don't really see like any kind of royalties, anything like that. But on top of that, he doesn't expect to see any accreditation. Similarly to how the song got used in the Super Mario movie, Super Mario Bros. Movie soundtrack, and he didn't get credited in that either. Which is incredibly frustrating. It is incredibly frustrating. I hate that.
Yeah, and that's just how they've always done it and still do it to this day. Couple of bullies. Then
I mean, look, at the end of the day, like I will defend Nintendo a lot on specific things. In the sense that, do I think the Nintendo Switch 2 is worth your time and money? Yeah, I absolutely think it's worth your time and money. Steam Deck does not compare. It really doesn't. And on top of that, you're not going to get the same Nintendo games on a Steam Deck unless you do it naughty, if you know what I mean. Unless you happen to stumble upon some games on the internet. But the things I won't defend them on are their business practices, and they're absolutely downright ruthless, and they are bullies when it comes to that. So like, I'm with you. I'm 100% with you.
Yeah, it does suck how they do it. And like, but then that's also like, it just, yeah, it sucks. But, I mean, that's how they've always been, and I don't see them changing it unless they get a lot of backlash from like one of the creators fighting back, and Nintendo getting a lot of backlash from audiences. Yeah. But I mean, I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Their crediting policies have been absolutely abysmal just in general. Like, I mean, if you look back to, they stripped the original development team's name from what was the remaster that they did? Was it Metroid Prime? Did they strip that the original developer's name off of that too?
Yeah, Metroid Prime, and then I think they also did it with Miitopia. Like the 3DS developers weren't listed, but even though it was basically just like a port over from the 3DS to the Switch. You know?
Mario versus Donkey Kong was another one they stripped the original development team's name off of, I believe. Kirby Geek 4 over on the YouTube chat says only 110 songs. Laughing emoji. And yeah, I mean, well, I think we'll get a good variety of music, whether they credit the artists or not is yet to be seen.
Right. I mean, they don't even want to tell us what developers. If
No.
it was up to them, they wouldn't tell us who's making any game.
Yeah, they want to claim it as Nintendo did this. That's what matters. It doesn't matter who developed this game. Nintendo put it out. It's Nintendo characters on a Nintendo console with a Nintendo cartridge on your Nintendo TV while you wake up to your Nintendo alarm clock.
Alarmo, thank you. It has a name.
sorry, Alarmo. I apologize.
Yeah.
You know, I would remember its name if they would remember the names of the people who wrote the music for them. Hot take. Anyway, Chris, you want to move on to the next one?
Okay, yeah. They got listen, there's a lot of currencies. They got more currencies than a free-to-play game. They have what is it? Banandium gems, which like you increase your stats on the skill tree, which their skill tree is something else that we can talk about. But then they also have the fossils, which you use and you spend it on fashion. So if you want to go ahead and get some snazzy ties, you can get different fossils. They even show you, like, if you look at the menu, like what type of fossils are in the area, and like you can like scan for them and things. Then they got gold, which you can gives you energy for Kong Bonanza transformations.
Bananergy.
Bananergy.
Yeah. You got to practice this. We're going to have to say bananergy a lot for the next at least month.
Right.
So.
And gold
ask you next week, how's your bananergy?
Yeah, how's your bananergy? Gosh, it's off the charts, just like my pH. The gold can also, oh shoot. My alarm clock was going off at 10:30. It's a terrible thing to have set up. But I'm always like, you know what? I got to remember to turn that off. And I never do. All right. So that's at the chip exchange. And then we've got treasure maps, which you can find that gives you the location of fossils and Banandium gems. Jeez Louise.
I should have read this one. I feel like I should have read this one. It's all these inventive names for things. I like Nintendo's branding with that, though. I like what they've done with like the Banandium chips and the Banandium. Oh, there's the treasure map, by the way. The Banandium gems and the Bananergy. I like that they're using banana in pretty much every bit of the branding around it. I think that's super cool.
They can spin out to peel their way out of here. This is ridiculous.
Jeez. It's not so bad. But no, like when we were watching this direct, I was really hoping that we would not see like a bajillion different currency systems in this game, because that was one of my biggest complaints about Super Mario Odyssey, is that in order to unlock some of the like specific costumes in areas, you had to go and collect purple coins. You had to collect moons to be able to continue your adventure. You had to collect gold coins to be able to buy specific things in the game, and keep yourself alive. And then on top of all of that, Donkey Kong's kind of done the exact same thing. Donkey Kong Bonanza's done the exact same thing with the gold, the Banandium chips, the Banandium gems, the fossils, the treasure maps. But then you also have collectibles. So many collectibles. The records that you can collect. The freaking there were a couple of other things that you can collect that I'm just blanking on all of a sudden after I went on the rant about the currencies. But like, I am not stoked about how much collecting there is in this game, and I'm just not a collectathon player. We'll talk a little bit more about that later on in the episode too. But how do you feel about the collectathon portion of this? Do you expect yourself to go out and collect all the fossils to be able to unlock all the fashion, collect all the Banandium gems, do the chips to be able to buy Banandium?
Well, if I want to get all the upgrades, or I want to get at the costumes, here's the thing. I always, in my head, I envision getting them all. Just like in my head, I was like, I am going to get, 1,000, platinum trophies. I'm going to get every single trophy in this, or achievement in this game. And then the game comes out and I get to a point where I'm like, you know what? Unless the game really sucks me in, I usually will just get enough to get what I want, like whichever costumes I want, because I'm probably going to get the most ridiculous looking costume and wear that and just stick to it. Although when I play Spider-Man, you know how they have like a bunch of different costumes? I will just use whichever one they have as the default skin, because I hate how ridiculous the cutscenes look when you're wearing just like a dumb costume. And I just never put on any of those other costumes, except every once in a while I'll put the like, the Miles Morales, I would put the
Spider-Verse
one on
costume
from Spider-Verse with the special like frames animation, and I would just use it for swinging around. But if I accidentally triggered a cutscene, I would just close the game and reopen it and then switch costumes. That's how much I don't like wearing those dumb looking costumes in my cutscenes that I don't even watch. So yeah, it really annoys me.
I understand.
What about you? Are you gonna get them all?
I'll probably grind. I really like doing the fashion hunt. And in Tears of the Kingdom, I had unlocked every single outfit. That was like one of the first things that I did, because I really like the fashion hunt. On Mario Kart World debut day, I spent hours going around trying to find where all the costumes were for all the characters, live on stream, and had a really good time doing it. That's a lie.
Really good time?
That's a lie.
Yeah,
I actually reviewed it pretty badly because of that. But
what about the if they have good checklists and like make it easy to know, like, oh, you're missing one right in this area, then I will go ahead and look for it.
The treasure maps in this game are going to be a game changer for that. It is going to make the fashion grind a lot easier. Tears of the Kingdom didn't really have that, and nor did Mario Kart World, but this game will. I mean, heck, even Spider-Man, which in the live chat, Sakura asks, why would you play my cat? Even Spider-Man had kind of a checklist for the for the costumes. You could kind of figure out, I need to go here to go get this costume because it shows it on my inventory screen, and I don't have it right now. And I'm totally okay with that. I think that's going to be fine. The fossil grind is not going to be so bad for me. It's just frustrating that there's like a division of currency there where like I can get all the costumes with gold if I had it. Just let me spend my gold. And that was the same suggestion I had for Mario Kart World. Was I'm collecting all these coins. All they're doing is unlocking go-karts, and at some point it's not going to matter anymore. I'm going to have all the cards. Why collect coins anymore? Like, let me buy new costumes with the coins instead of me having to go and hope that I found the right food for the right character. But speaking of costumes, I did have one point in this where you can go to the style shop and purchase costumes. But one thing that I thought was really interesting, and it's probably my favorite little detail in this, is that DK... This specific DK, and you can see it in this frame right here. This specific DK, just classic DK with just the necktie, is just called Naked DK. And that's hilarious. That's all I had for that note. That you may have missed it, and I really wanted to point this one out.
Yeah, that's the only note you need, really. He's just naked.
And I'm going to be honest, like, that's kind of the way, I mean, because the clothing, all of it gives you stats, like every single thing gives you stats. And they kind of show that. Well, not every single thing, but a lot of them are going to give you stats. They're not just going to be cosmetic. But I kind of am very much in that same boat when it comes to Nintendo characters, especially. Like, I just kind of want to play as the original look version of them more than anything, and it's nice to have the options there if I want them. But now knowing that, like, some of these things are going to give me like stat bonuses if I'm wearing them, it's really going to drive me crazy that I'm not just going to be able to be naked DK in every single biome or whatever, you know?
Right, that's true.
So, Saki has a good point. He's not naked. He's wearing a tie. Kirby Geek over in the YouTube chat. I'm just going to collect stuff and hope stuff magically unlocks, and then follow it up with, I love the dumbest costumes and cutscenes. That's like 90% of the reason I get it. Oh, man. I'm with her. Like, I'm absolutely with her. I really love the dumbest costumes, too. There's a reason why, like, every year during Mario Mania's Marathon, the charity stream that I do, first annual charity stream happened in March. It wasn't a charity stream before. I'd just been doing it for the past 3 years. But pretty much I let everybody do a channel point war to decide what costume we're going to do. And and everybody always one-sidedly votes. They want to see Rick from Rick and Morty version of Mario with the scientist hair and the lab coat. So I'm kind of with her.
What people want that?
Oh, people really want that. That's the one area that I will stop to collect the purple coins and the speed runs that I'm doing for it. So that way I can unlock that for the chat. Otherwise, we just go Captain's Hat. It's either Captain's Hat only or Rick and Morty Rick Science Mario.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
It's so good. It's so good. It's the best costume in the game.
Hold on. I was trying to... Okay. So, let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to do, like, Mario and Donkey Kong, if Mario were to be in this game in any capacity, what capacity would you want him in it?
A quick cameo. Maybe like an ending cutscene cameo. Like a after credits stinger.
Oh.
Like, I want Donkey Kong to be Donkey Kong. I want the game to stay Donkey Kong. Right. It's very important to me that, because it's one of those things where if you look at a Spider-Man film, you put anyone else in it, it's no longer just a Spider-Man film. A better comparison is probably like Captain America Civil War. That's not a Captain America movie. That's an Avengers movie. It's not a Captain America movie because all the other characters are in there. Mm. And so it stops being a Captain America centric movie, even though a lot of it is told from his perspective. So I really want Donkey Kong to not just dilute his message by just having Mario in here anymore. Like, I don't need that. If you were going to put Mario in a game, why not just give me 3D Mario?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying.
What about you?
If he is in it, I want him to be like friends with Pauline and like in the opening cutscene. And then when she gets whipped away. That's what I want. Do you think she's going to be?
Pauline?
Like, are we going to see her in like above ground and then somehow get warped into this world underground?
I don't think we're going to get the origin of how she got down there. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't expect us to get the origin of how she got down there, but we will definitely see her return home. We will 100% see her return home. I could be wrong. Actually, I think I am wrong. Let me backtrack on that entire statement right now and say, I think we'll likely get a montage of of memories of how she got down there. And why she was brought down, because the Japanese website specifically states she was taken down to a sublayer of the earth and transformed into Odd Rock. So
Right.
I think they may show who did it, why it was done, but they're not going to spend a whole lot of time on that. They will instead, after you bring her up to the or after she makes her wish, they'll show her being returned to her home or whatever. Maybe building New Donk City, who knows?
A little New Donk. Yeah, because I mean, the way that she talks at the end of it makes it seem like this is a prequel to Odyssey.
It does. I don't know if Nintendo's going to go so far as to call it that or treat it that way.
Confirm it. Yeah.
Yeah, but it absolutely. I mean, if there is a continuity, it has to follow this. Like she grows up, she builds New Donk City, she becomes mayor of New Donk City. Like it has to be that way. Paulina's Odd Rock's date everything persona. No. Oh my god. Don't date rocks. Don't date rocks. You might never know. It might have a 13-year-old girl trapped inside. Oh man. Chris, what's the next thing on our list of things that people might have missed out on?
It's a great question. Wait, we did costumes?
We did costumes last, yes.
All right, so they got the different sub layers where they likely appear. Is that the next one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The levels will go in, what do you have in order on the missions screenshots we got?
Yeah, which is the part that's showing up on the screen right now. They have where you can find your Banandium gems, and they're listed, and then there's like a bunch of blanks, and it tells you like what SL each of these are at, which SL stands for sub-level or sub-layer.
Oh. And that's where they were showing the like what fossils and stuff they have, right?
Banandium gems. It was right after the fossils, but you can see the fossils in your smashing stats for every area as well on that screen. But it'll show off the different layers, and they're named. I'll do it. Hang on. So the levels likely go in order based on the missions screenshots that we got. Layer 10 is the area that the game starts in, and that is in Ingot Isle. And then at sub-level 100, you get Lagoon Layer. Sub-level 200, you get Hilltop Layer. Sub-level 300, you get Canyon Layer. They don't name sub-level 400, but sub-level 500, when they're showing off that area of the game in this, when they show getting the amiibo scanned in, it does show that it is sub-level 500, Ice and Lava. 600 is the forest layer. 700's also not been named, and 800 is the beach layer with the like helium rocks that you can rise up in. But there are likely 3 more layers that we have yet to see get revealed or named, and I'm excited to see what they end up doing. Three more sub layers, new locations in the game, and I would imagine that one of those is probably going to be Voidco headquarters. Like, I would be really surprised if it's not.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. What if one of them is New Donk City, and you get to go there and either create it or just play New Donk City, but with Donkey Kong Bananza gameplay?
I don't want that yet. I keep my Mario and my DK separate. Let DK have his time to shine. Like, I don't have to go all the way to New Donk City. I can just see it in a post-credit stinger of Pauline growing up and building New Donk City and becoming the mayor. Like, I'm totally fine with that. I don't need everything else. And it is kind of cool. Like, there was a part of me that really heavily wondered why she named it New Donk City. Like, why did she name it that? Like, Donkey Kong was her captor. That'd be like, I don't know, every person that Ted Bundy murdered building a city in his honor, you know? Yeah,
Wait, what?
I don't know. I'm just saying everything. It was about rehabilitation. just helping his image key work. Is that what it was? But New Bundyburg.
Okay. All right, yeah. I'm like I can't get behind that. The the
DK is a serial banana eater and damsel in distress taker. Gainesville. Oh man.
But I do think it would make sense for them not to do that because they want to make sure that they could get you in case they make a Donkey Kong Bonanza 2, they don't want it to automatically meet up the Odyssey, so it could be like she's even like just 3 years later or something. Donkey Kong Bonanza 2 takes place 3 years after 1, and then she's hanging out with you as a teenager.
I don't really expect that to happen. I don't expect them to
a second one.
Yeah, I don't expect there to be a second Donkey Kong Bonanza. In the same ways that I'm after this coming out, I really don't expect to see Odyssey 2. Not a direct sequel. Kirby Geek over on the YouTube said DK's laying the foundation for it for New Donk by smashing everything down. And you can kind of see it in the direct here. It actually happens. He just blows up an entire building.
Oh yeah. Well, somebody's got to.
Yeah. So I don't really expect them to do an actual real tie. It's all theory crafting, right? Like it's these throwbacks to important moments within these characters' history. But they're more referential than they are actually important to the overall storyline or gameplay.
Right. Plus, they also it's just I feel like the only reason they went with Pauline, a young Pauline, instead of like Diddy Kong is because they wanted somebody to talk.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted a voiced character.
Do we need that? Mario never says an actual word. That's pretty much all he does the entirety of Mario Odyssey. It's a me, Mario.
In Breath of the Wild, they got everyone else talking, but
But Link, yeah, right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like
their go-to thing.
They can always just have Donkey Kong talk like he did in the Donkey Kong Country CGI 3D animated show from the 90s. There's no reason they couldn't do that. Side characters can talk. I mean, Cranky talks. Cranky says words at you.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish he. I'll tell you what. I wish the team that did Mario and Luigi, that series, they didn't go under by making,
Brothership and making it bad.
Well, they didn't make Brothership.
I mean, some people from there did. They had staff from who was it? I can't remember who the development team was. Intelligent something.
No, the
company that shut down.
Yeah, the company that shut down.
They had the 3 dots in the logo.
Dream something, wasn't it?
Alpha Dream.
It
was Alpha Dream.
But yeah, if they were to make a Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong game, and just if they talk the way that Mario and Luigi talk in the Mario and Luigi games, where blah 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 blah, and their hands are going. If Donkey Kong were to talk like that in this game, and then Pauline just magically knows what he's saying, I would enjoy that.
I'm totally fine with that too. I think that's exactly what should happen. That's exactly what should happen. Also from the Japanese website, items and their uses. So we saw when they were talking about purchasing stuff from the stuff shop, they showed off a couple of different things. The first thing that they had shown off in here, and Chris and I both had some questions about it because we didn't pay that close of attention to what the actual descriptions had said. We couldn't catch it because we were watching it live. We kind of scrolled through, but the balloon is called a red balloon, or on the Japanese website it says it's called a recovery balloon. and it allows you to return to the game without taking any damage, even if you fall into the abyss. And you can see DK has a health system in this game. Your health isn't determined by your gold anymore, and it just like taking some of your gold as a punishment for you dropping off an edge. You actually have a health bar, which is very DK. You've always had hearts that you were dealing with in that game. They also sell red balloon times 10 or a bunch of recovery balloons, and it's just several of them all at once. And then they had the apple juice, and what it says here is it automatically restores all your health if it reaches 0. So it kind of works like a fairy in a bottle in Legend of Zelda games. Consumes 1 can per restoration, and then they have like a big can of I don't even know, melon juice. It's pressed from Bananza melons. Activate a Bananza without a full Banenergy meter. So you can do the Bananza transformations, the ostrich, the zebra, and the Kong Bananza. Doing that without having to have a full Banenergy meter to be able to do it, which is kind of cool. And then there's another item over there that they don't really show off that is a banana on a poster. And I would imagine that's probably a map to Banandium. Based on the way its texture is, it's very similar to the treasure maps.
Yes.
So I think that's going to be a similar situation to where you could go into a shop in Super Mario Odyssey and buy a moon. This is going to be one of those things where you can buy the treasure maps and it'll give you a location of Banandium gem.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. There's like so many things that they showed for like a second or two that I'm like, I just want to do a deep dive on some of those menus when like I want them to show us those menus, which of course we won't get until like a day or two before when people are playing it.
No, not at all. Do you want to talk about the skill tree image that you sent me? Because you've had the chance to actually go and play the demo of Donkey Kong Bananza. You want to talk about the skill tree image that you sent?
Yeah. Yep. The skill tree image, like when you go and play the like the demo, they're apparently at Target, Best Buy, Walmart. I didn't go to Walmart or Target to see, but I did see it at Best Buy. I lost my power over the last week. Forgot to bring that up. Tried to block that out. But the
oh man.
It's kind of like it's got like the skill tree that you can see, and if you look at the skill tree, it has like the 3 Bananza powers that we've seen so far, and then there is a spot for the 4th and 5th, if that is what it is. There's 2 other Bananza, which I'm guessing one is water, right? An underwater. What's the name of that underwater? Is it the swordfish?
On guard.
Yeah.
The swordfish in Donkey Kong Country that you can ride underwater is on guard.
And I don't know what the last one would be.
Wouldn't it be wild if it's a Kremlin transformation?
Yeah. Or Donkey Kong becomes just a cool dude, like
like funky. It's a funky Bananza.
A surfboard, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but he just it's
funky
like
Bananza,
Encino Man. Yeah.
Oh man. No, I think you're right though, and it was weird. It was weird that there were only 3 transformations, and these are like tied to your D-pad inputs. They're not like tied to anything else. So like you have a 4th D-pad button, and what could that possibly be? You know, is kind of the question that was left there. And I think you're right, because you've got a smashing style, monkey style Bananza. You've got the zebra for speed. You've got the ostrich for flight.
Flying.
And I think you're right. Like, it makes sense that it would be on guard for like going under the water, because like DK's always been able to swim, and in this game they've only ever shown him surfing, as they called it, surf surfing instead of turf surfing, surfing,
which is an unlockable skill there on that skill tree.
Yeah. But you can see here, approximately, surfing right here. So I think there's quite a bit that you can do that lends itself to saying, hey, you should be able to transform and go under the water, because they only really showed him on top of the water, on the surface of it, at any point in this direct. So on guard would make sense.
If there is an underwater one, I could see one of the layers being an underwater, like just a water layer. Yeah. I could totally see that too. And that would make sense. Underwater, yeah.
That would make sense to get that Bananza in that area. I still kind of wonder what that fifth column there is after the Bananza transformations.
It's like the Megazord of Bonanzas, where they just.
What if you're just like a bad amalgam, like legit? Like, what if it's like you're triple caked up? You've got these zebra legs, and you got the ostrich arms with the ostrich neck. Like, it'd be horrible. Pauline abilities.
You're just coming out of Bayonetta's hair. Bayonetta is controlling you, like in Bayonetta 3, where she controlled those.
Mm-hmm. Keywork Savior mentions Pauline abilities, and I think that would make sense. Like, that would track, because Pauline doesn't have anything on the skill tree, like, as far as we know. Like,
she has different singing abilities. And you could.
None of the things here. I think that's increased health. I think that's increased health. I think that is probably apple juice cans that you can carry at once. That's probably Bananza cans you can carry at once. This is probably like a meteor smash when you're falling from super high. This looks like when he beats on his chest to do the Bananza transformations. The bottom one in the first column. Yeah. This has to be punching. This has to be throwing. This has to be the sonar clap. This has to be the ground slap. And then looks like he's got a twirl punch move that he can do, that he can charge up.
And one of them might even just be stamina, like in the bottom left, like one of those ones that you could just be stamina.
One of these? This one in the bottom left that you're talking about?
Like, the bottom column? Left. Yeah, that could just be the stamina or something.
Well, that's what he does when he's doing his Kong transformation. So it might extend your Bananza transformation time. Yeah.
That makes sense.
And then this looks like impact when you're throwing rocks. How much? I would imagine that's probably how much damage you're doing. This is time for turf surfing, and this is the ability to surf for sure. The things that I don't really understand are the Bananza transformation things here. There's like 2 levels on these things, on these first 2.
Yeah. Right.
And then you've got your flight time and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah. And the one has a star. I don't know.
I think that might be something he's favorited for some reason. He wants to get to it next, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Hang on,
let you know how many.
Zoom out. Can you favorite? Right? Points needed. 4. Yeah, this is definitely health. So increases your maximum health to 7 hearts if you get this next thing. So I don't really know what that would be. But I am very interested in this 4th and 5th column of the Bananza transformations. I think that's going to be super cool. Whatever they end up doing on it. So
it could be another Bananza ability and then something else that isn't the Bananza that you can level up, like a different ability of some sort that might not be another Bananza ability, but just something else entirely.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. We do have another piece here, and the final piece that is something that I feel like maybe a lot more people knew, but I didn't realize, is that all monkeys are Kongs. I didn't know this. Grumpy Kong, Poppy Kong, and
Talk to me.
Void Kong, right? And then you've got
yeah.
Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, Cranky Kong, Funky Kong. All the monkeys in these games, they're not called ape, they're not called chimpanzee, they're not called orangutan. They are all Kongs. And I realized that, and that I think lends a lot of credence to the fact that like Rambi is not just one creature. It's not the name, right? It is a genus, a species of creature that is in there. These are all Rambi.
Yeah. Which, yeah, they announced that. How do you feel about that? That it being a
I'm fine with it. I mean, it's just like cow is cow, right? Like cow in Mario Kart is cow. There's nothing that's special or deviates him from the cows you're driving by in the in Mario Kart world. What opportunity did I waste?
Yeah. Give us Rambi in Mario Kart World 2.
Nintendo wasted it. Oh my gosh. Cow equals her. Oh no. Oh man, but no. Those are the 10 things. There's actually like so many more things that we talked about than just 10 things. So if you're interested in catching up on everything that you missed in the Direct, definitely go through with a fine-tooth comb. And I'm sure we're going to get a whole lot more details as we get deeper into the release schedule. We have essentially, 2 weeks? 3 weeks until that game comes out? 3 weeks until that game comes out.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I will be picking it up day one. I'll be sharing it. I may try the game share functionality on it just to be able to see how that goes to play as DK and Pauline, because Pauline looks absolutely busted in that game. Like she looks so strong for what little she has to actually do, where she can like shoot the big bosses that Grumpy Kong makes and destroys them with her words as she's yelling yeah and hey at them, and they go out as rocks. Right. It looks crazy. But we do have an ad break getting ready to come up. We've got a few more topics to get through before we end tonight's episode. Nobody go anywhere. Everybody get up, get a good stretch break in, get yourself something to drink, and we'll be right back after these short messages. Welcome back, everybody. I hope everybody got a good stretch break in. Went and grabbed something to drink. I did. I needed to get a refill on the old Dr. Pepper Blackberry Zero Sugar. Not a sponsor, but one day they could be, and I'm going to continue giving them that opportunity while they think about sponsoring Nintendo Rewind. That being said, we have finished up the main topic. We're going to be jumping into the fast forward and a little bit of impressions on the very first game that is on our list right after this jump. Chris, you want to tell them about the games that are coming out?
Boy, do I ever. Ruffy and the Riverside. We were doing some investigating before this show went on, and they keep talking about how it's on the Switch and the Switch 2, but it seems like it's just a Switch 1 game with improved performance. I've even seen some gameplay videos, and they all say they're playing the Switch 1 version on the Switch 2. So it seems like it's just the Switch 1 version. It comes out on the 26th, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thursday.
Yes, sir.
And we've actually played it.
We have. We've had the opportunity to play it. We obviously can't give a full written review or video review of it just yet. It's still under a little bit of an embargo until tomorrow. And you can expect a review video coming up, or at least an impressions video coming up at some point within this week. I've gotten to spend quite a bit of time in it. Chris has also gotten the chance to spend quite a bit of time in it. Initial impressions, how are you feeling about it?
I kind of like the way the game looks, but I also kind of hate the way the game looks. Just the something about the art style, like I really like the way it looks, but it's almost like one of those things like where it's right on the edge of what I like and what I don't like, if that makes any sense. But that's how I feel with the looks. I don't like, I believe we've talked about this a little bit with the basically what I played so far is like the first hour, and I mean the demo is pretty much like the first hour kind of, but I like the idea of like taking how would you describe the look of this game? It's kind of like flat art in the 3D world.
Yeah, you're definitely like, it reminds me a lot of Paper Mario in that sense, where you're playing as this 2D character in that full on 3D world. And all the NPCs, all the characters that you meet and interact with, they're also kind of papery. One of my favorite characters that is in this is pretty much him, but pixelated. And
right, yeah.
It's I cannot remember his name all of a sudden. Pixbit or something like that. But overall, like I'm kind of with you where like the main character himself, like he moves at like an extremely low frame rate while the rest of the world around him kind of exists in like full on like 60 frames per second.
Right.
I've got to be honest. This game is probably not like necessarily my number one genre that I will ever jump into, because it is very much a collect-a-thon style of gameplay. But it is at the same time very addicting in the main mechanic that they have in here, which is the magic of swap, which is essentially a copy and paste, where you can copy the properties of other things and paste them onto the properties of different things. And be able to interact with the world around you in that way. And it was super cool. Like in that first hour, which we have a video up on our YouTube page, showing off the first hour of gameplay for Ruffy and the Riverside. In that first hour, I had copied land. I didn't realize I could just copy dirt. And then I turned and I looked at the ocean, and I pasted dirt on the ocean. And I was like, oh my gosh, I could just run across this. And then I tried and immediately sunk into mud and died. But it's a really, really cool mechanic. They have some cool, like Mario 8-bit going into the wall kind of experiences where in like Super Mario Odyssey, it's very comparable to that. That's shown off in that little launch trailer that's there on the website, on the listing, the Nintendo Store page listing. The controls are really snappy. I love the controls in this game. Like he controls like you've got a stamina wheel, but you can kind of run for a really, really long time. And if you collect coins as you're going on that path running, it refreshes the stamina wheel every time you collect a coin. But it's a super unique take on the 3D platformer genre that I really haven't seen anywhere. And the closest thing I could probably compare it to is kind of like the Blob, where you're coloring the world, but instead like you're copy and pasting properties in the world. Right. So I like that. I like that. I think it's really cool and really novel. But there are some things that I think it's a little bit rough around the edges. It is an indie game, of course. But it has some areas that it's a little bit rough around the edges, and the tutorial's a little bit too long, and the game's a little hand-holdy, and the dialogue is not my favorite just yet. But those are my initial impressions from the game, and I've kind of played similarly to what you've done. But if you're a fan of Banjo-Kazooie and that style of game, this has a lot of Banjo and Kazooie blood in it. Like this feels like it was born and bred in a Banjo-Kazooie laboratory. So I don't know.
It's in that world, like that realm of type of game. Especially, collectathon, any sort of collectathon. Donkey Kong 64, you a Donkey Kong 64 fan, you might like this. But yeah, Ruffy. Oh shoot, I hit the wrong button. You ever do that?
I do all the time.
So do I. But yeah, that Ruffy in the Riverside, June 26, 1999. Switch to the people were playing it, and the videos I've seen where it was running at like 26, 28 frames a second and mainly stayed at 60 most of the time on the Switch 2. When playing it on the Switch 2.
Our video is based on the Steam version too, so we did not get blessed with the Switch version of it. We both got Steam versions of it, so gameplay experience may differ slightly, but more positively in the Switch 2 category.
Right. Yeah. And then we have another game actually. Until then, I don't know. This is coming out. It is like a 2D it's like it's like a chain like a chain reaction of it's Mark's life. It's like well, I'll just read the description. A fateful meeting sets off a chain reaction, upending Mark's life. People disappear and memories prove unreliable. Uncover a hidden truth with Mark and his friends in this narrative adventure and race to unravel the mystery before it's too late. Until then, it is like one of those games. It's like a story, like a lot of talking. Okay. I played a lot more of this than I thought I would because there is so much talking, but it was like one of those games that was enjoyable to play on the Steam Deck because I played the Steam version. But yeah, this is until then it is coming out on the 26th. It is normally $19.99. It's on sale for $16.99 until July 10th. So you'll be able to have that on sale for a little bit of time. This is another Switch 1 game. We of course don't know if it will be running any better on Switch 2, but
We just know that it has game behavior consistent with the original Nintendo Switch. So they have kind of gotten on the Nintendo website Nintendo Switch 2 compatibility listings with check marks, and any inconsistencies are listed there. But most of these games have been at least releasing, the ones that are releasing after Switch 2 is released. Most of these games have been saying it's pretty compatible.
Right. It doesn't have voice acting, so you're going to be doing a lot of reading. But I actually read quite a bit of it. Like, they do a lot of good stuff with not only are you talking, but then even when you're by yourself, you're doing like text messages and things with different people, and it just, the storytelling was really good, and so I kept playing it a lot more than I thought it would. But yeah, that is Until Then, for crying out loud. And then we got another Switch 1 game, which is Bambas! Exclamation point.
Bambas!
Bambas! Yeah. Relive your childhood and turn every crosswalk, curb, and puddle into an epic adventure with this urban walking simulator. Literally a walking simulator where you only are playing as shoes. Just a couple of cool sneakers walking around. Lace up, step up, because in this game, every stride is an adventure of its own. Yeah. I like how you can like kind of like pick your shoes, design them, and go from there. And then it's like you walk up and you are like talking to people, but you're only seeing the shoes. You only like know the different adventures as the shoe. Like, so when you go up and start talking to somebody, you're talking to those shoes. But yeah. Sometimes like with Until Then came out June 25th, 2024, right? And Bambas is $14.99, coming out June 27th, and it is coming out the same day on Steam as it is on the Switch. So it's like it's a brand new game. So it's not like the ones where it's like been on other platforms and it's coming here. Yeah, it is that. We do have one game that has a confirmed Switch 2 edition, which is Tamagotchi Plaza. How do you feel about Tamagotchi?
I was more of a Gigapets fan, but you know.
Oh gosh, you would be. I could see it.
I had a frog that my mother took to work for me one day to keep it alive because they banned them at my school when I was growing up. You couldn't bring your Gigapets or your Tamagotchis anymore because they would disturb class. I was in like 3rd or 4th grade, somewhere in that ballpark. And I sent my Gigapet with my mom to work, and she killed it. She let it die while she was at work doing her job instead of taking care of my virtual pet. So I was devastated. My 3rd, 4th grade self was devastated.
Yeah, I'm devastated just hearing this news. But yeah, the Tamagotchi Plaza coming out June 27th. It's $39.99 on the Switch 1, and then there is a Switch 2 edition as well as a Switch 2 upgrade, which the upgrade on Tamagotchi Plaza gives you like 2 extra mini games. And there are like multiplayer mini games. There's no word if it uses like online game share or not, but there is a local multiplayer for that. And yeah, so I'm guessing it'll be, if it's like the other games, it'll be like a $10 upgrade. We'll see. We'll know next week in time. When we are back next week, we'll be able to tell you. But yeah, that is it for this week in terms of the fast forward.
Very cool. Very cool. A lot of cool games. A lot of cool things to check out. A lot of cool things to spend your money on. $40 for a Tamagotchi game, though, man. I'm having a hard time swallowing that price point. I don't think it's going to be bad. It's just that's pricey, and then I'm going to have to pay more to get the Switch 2 version of it.
What's the Tamagotchi Plaza? It's not just any Tamagotchi. It's not just a little Tamagotchi. You are the Tamagotchi walking around.
Oh, I am the Tamagotchi. Oh man. Yeah. Well, listen, we have our game show segment that we still need to do, Christopher. Are you excited for it? Are you thinking you're going to be doing good? Do you have belief? Do you believe in yourself?
I would like to believe in myself, but also after how well I did last week, I don't know if I can live up to.
I know you kind of crushed it last week. I was very impressed. Game show segment called Pixel Minute, or Pixmin for short. In this segment, Chris has exactly 1 minute to guess a video game from a screenshot that is heavily pixelated and will slowly reveal itself over the course of 60 seconds. Christopher, if you guess it fast, you get more points. You get points based on how many seconds are left. So. It's gonna be cool. I'm excited to see what you do. Just a reminder, this game was in fact released. I just knocked my mic directly into my mouth. Was released this week on a Nintendo platform. On a Nintendo platform in Nintendo history, but not this week. It could have been any time within the past 35, 40, 50 years. Not 50 years, but you know what I mean. The faster you guess, the more points you get. If it fully reveals itself by the end of the song, you lose. Chris, can you see my camera, my good sir?
I see you. I'm ready.
All right.
I got chat closed. Got you open. I'm ready to rock and roll.
Here we go. We're going to start in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, gosh. What is this? Super Mario 64?
Mm-mm.
No. Okay. Well, then I'm out of ideas. Well, it looks like maybe it's some sort of baseball game. No. The heck is this? Hold on. Oh, is it Miitopia?
Nope.
No. It's Me something. Me Sports?
There was no Me Sports.
No. Nintendo Switch Sports?
Mm-mm.
No. Is this a... What the heck? Me Party?
No.
Wii Party, I mean?
No.
Nintendo Wii Resort? No, wait. Is that what it is? The Wii Sports Resort?
Yes, you got it. 9 seconds left on the clock. You get 9 points, Christopher. Oh my gosh. I was like, there was no Me Sports. You're so close, though. You were so close. It is in fact Wii Sports Resort. Just to give you a little bit of history on Wii Sports Resort. This was a sports simulation game released in 2009, developed and published by Nintendo for the Wii video game console. It is the sequel to Wii Sports from 2006. It was the first-party Wii game to support the Wii Motion Plus accessory, and the first game overall to require it, which was bundled with the game. Wii Sports Resort was first announced at E3 2008 and was later released in Japan on June 25th, 2009, and in nearly all other regions the following month. While Wii Sports Resort was first released as a standalone title, it was later bundled with newer Wii consoles alongside Wii Sports, so you get both of them whenever you bought the newer Wii consoles.
Relatively speaking, it might have been one of the final games to support the Wii Balance Board.
It probably was pretty dang close.
Yeah.
Oh man, you got 9 points, Chris. You didn't do as well as you did last week with Blaster Master. I was wondering.
Not nearly as well.
I was like,
yeah.
I don't know
is
if he's
it
gonna
Blaster Master too? No. Is it Jaws? No, it wasn't.
Oh man.
Yeah, it said on there the score that was listed was 92, and I got what 9 seconds to spare.
9.2 points. Oh man. Well, Chris, that brings us to the outro portion of the show with the extra Nintendo news. Not a whole lot of my Nintendo news this week. Just the last call for the Universal Epic Universe Super Nintendo World Sweepstakes. It's 10 platinum points per entry, max 5 entries. That sweepstakes is going away. They're going to pick their winner. I've never met a single person who's ever won, and I've entered every single one of those sweepstakes with my platinum points.
So I haven't won a single. I feel like they're just not. They're just giving them to.
Yeah. To Nintendo executives. So it's going to Kit and Krista.
Executives, yes.
They posted a short this week talking about how Nintendo Life said former Nintendo executives.
Yeah.
So funny.
Like, that is not us.
Yep, we were just employees. Boy, did they lower the bar for an executive at Nintendo. Mario series icons have rotated yet again for NSO Play and Redeem as per usual. As did Mario Kart World icons. You don't need a Switch 2 to claim them. You can get the Mario Kart World icons. Wave 3 ends tonight. Wave 4 starts tomorrow. As a reminder, the monthly Play and Redeem set of icons are Legends of Zelda 1 and 2. The Yoshi Story soundtrack has hit Nintendo Music. So if you're not out there listening to the very last song in that game, it's a tearjerker. The credits theme, I don't know what you're doing with your life. You're messing up.
It's a tearjerker.
Kirby Geek says, I actually know someone who won one of those, but claimed they never entered one of the sweepstakes.
I feel like they're lying either one way or the other. What
are you gonna call out Kirby Geek for? What did they ever do to you?
I'm not calling them out. Listen, Mel, I'm not calling you out. I'm calling out your friend. Okay. Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay.
Tetris Maximus Cups. Let's talk about those. They're making a return with the 47th Maximus Cup featuring themes from Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Splatoon, Pikmin 4, and Skyward Sword HD starting on June 27th. I think I'm actually going to try to play it because I missed out on the Mario Wonder Cup, and I would like to have that theme on Tetris 99. You only need 20 points to earn each one in the game. So if you get 20 points, you can exchange those points for one of those 4 themes, and they'll be coming out in waves. So there'll be a period of time for each wave, but it starts on June 27th, and it starts with Super Mario Bros. Wonder. There was a new update for Pikmin 3 Deluxe for Switch 2 compatibility, and also an Animal Crossing New Horizons compatibility update, a Super Smash Bros. Ultimate compatibility update where you can now use your Mii fighters in the online modes and it's not going to crash your game, and Nintendo Switch Sports. Also, speaking of Switch Sports, also got one as well. And if you're hitching to get your hands on old DK, there are demos available at various kiosks in the US. They are confirmed in Target, and we know for sure in Best Buy because Chris went and played it, and Walmart. They're claiming Walmart has them as well, if your local stores have them. So if you want to try it out early, go hit up those stores, try them out, and let us know what you thought about the DK demo.
Real quick.
Uh-huh.
Ruffy in the Riverside, I emailed them right before the show and tweeted at them, and they wrote me back on both Twitter and emailed, and they said, yes, there's no date as of yet, but they are working on a native Switch 2 port on the Switch 2. So they got that patch
and
out.
So it is compatible and has a silent secret ghost upgrade.
Right. But so it works better, but they are working on the native one to come out.
Interesting. That's pretty cool. Thanks for that. Thanks for that, Zox Labs. So that's pretty cool. Also, Deltarune Chapter 5 locked in a 2026 release date. So if you're waiting on Chapter 5, if you finished up Chapter 4 and you're just itching, you're hoping that it's not going to be another 7 years before we see something else from Toby Fox. The good news is Chapter 5 will release in 2026. And there are still 2 more chapters planned after that. And also, breaking news today off the Nintendo Today app, Drag by Drive is confirmed for August 14th, and the price point $19.99. So we'll have something else to talk about come August. Yeah. Looking forward to actually trying that. At a $19.99 price point, I think I'm more interested. I was worried that game was going to be like $40.
Okay, yeah, I could see that. But yeah, I was worried I was like, oh gosh, the worst case scenario, $50.
Mm-hmm.
But 19.99, I expected it to at least be 29.99. I don't know why, but I also feel like 19.99 from Nintendo kind of gives you an idea of how much content is in it. You know,
Well, hold on.
that's I think sure. How's that not the case? But 19.99 from a Nintendo game, it's like on par with like the Stretchers and
The Stretchers was a great game. What are you talking about?
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's going to be on par with like those in terms of, I mean, it's no Sushi Strikers, you know.
The Way of the Shushido.
Shout out to it. Which yeah, so there's that, and then also today, breaking news.
More breaking news.
Yeah, Little Nightmares 3 got announced for a Switch 2 version.
Ooh.
And it got a release date of October 10th. So there is a Switch version and a Switch 2 version, and they both have Amazon exclusive collector's editions. They said pre-orders for the Switch version is coming in the future, in terms of like digital pre-orders, because right now with Little Nightmares 3, if you pre-order it, you get instant access to Little Nightmares Enhanced Edition, which is just a 4K version of Little Nightmares. So they're saying Switch pre-orders will open at a later date, and I don't know if it's so that we can get Enhanced Edition on the Switch 2 and it's not done or what, but yeah, it is out now.
Very cool.
The pre-orders.
Very
so
cool.
Grab that. $39.99.
That's not a bad price at all.
Base game, and $59.99 for the collector's edition, the deluxe edition, which does have 2 exclusive chapters. I don't know if I like how I feel about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I like to have my complete story, and if it exists, why is it not in the base game? Don't make me pay you more. Like, that's kind of dirty.
Right, yeah.
I did want to talk about, I realized we haven't revisited this in a while, but Chris and I, before the show, we were talking about our Switch 2 launch year bingo card that we made as a crew, and I wanted to show that off because I realized we've gotten a couple of bingos already. Zelda Remaster Remake Port, we got that with Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild getting 4K upgrades, is what I feel like. We've marked that one off. Plus the fact that you have to pay for it, so that's why I was comfortable marking that one off. We got NSO expansion editions with the GameCube stuff. Switch 2 launched. We're getting Kirby Air Riders later on this year. And then cloud-based native release. I didn't realize we had this one, but the Hitman game that was on launch day, we got that one as well, because that was previously a cloud-based game that was on Switch 1.
That's true.
And then our other one that we got, Mina the Hollower, got confirmed that it is coming to Switch 2 this year. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, Kirby Air Riders, Hades 2, and Madden all in that row. But there are a couple of these I don't think we're going to be seeing. First off, I don't think we're going to get this diagonal with the 3D Mario. And I don't think we're going to be getting this diagonal just yet. Alt-color Joy-Con could still happen within the year, though. So I'm going to keep my fingers crossed.
If we would have gotten Splatoon if we said a new Splatoon and not Splatoon 4.
Yep, we kind of messed that up.
Yeah.
That's kind of our fault. But 3D Mario, I think, is out of the cards. Splatoon 4 is likely out of the cards as well, unless, Raiders is just something to keep us sedated until then. Right. Halo could still happen, but that knocks this out. I think Halo could still happen. Animal Crossing, I don't think that's happening this year with the effort they've been putting into Animal Crossing getting cross compatibility, and the fact that team that works on Animal Crossing works on Splatoon, and they've been busy with Splatoon Raiders. So I'm not optimistic that Animal Crossing will happen this year. Mario sports title could still happen. Sea of Thieves could still happen.
But Microsoft Sorry, go ahead.
I think. Well, no, you go, because I was about to talk about Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Oh, well, Microsoft, when they've been announcing the games on PS5 and even the ones that came to Switch, like Grounded and things, they announce them about 4 or 5 weeks in advance. So I think if Sea of Thieves does come to the Switch too, they would announce it like 5 weeks ahead of time. And it's usually like a Twitter drop or in a random like partner direct.
Mm-hmm.
And you were going to say something about Assassin's Creed Shadows?
Assassin's Creed Shadows could happen as like a retroactive kind of port, but I don't see that happening now. I really don't.
No.
And then
because it was rated for the Switch too, in like Taiwan or something.
Yep. And
So,
the Smash reveal? We're not getting this row or this column. That's just not happening with Sakurai working on Kirby Air Riders. I don't think that's going to happen in the next 365 days.
Yeah, because what are they going to announce it and be like Smash 2020 30? 2030, not 2020 30.
But keep an eye out. We may get some of these things and just be super surprised, and maybe we'll cross out the whole board. Who knows? I think it'd be really, really cool.
Only time will tell.
Yep.
Yeah.
Chris, where can they find you, my good sir?
Super Nintendo, pretty much everything. You know, look for the link tree. What about you? Where can they find you?
It's not true. You're 8-Bit Becker in some places. Your games to discover on TikTok. Your Super Nintendo on Twitter and on
Just
Twitch.
give me a call. Here's my phone number.
Stop! Don't do that here.
Yeah.
Oh man. Not everything can be Sushi Strikers. That's true. Not everything can be Sushi Strikers.
Yeah.
Oh man, but you can find me over at Nerdwire Plays everywhere, like actually everywhere. Tomorrow night I am doing the finale. I run a Marvel Multiverse TTRPG tabletop role-playing game campaign with several of my friends on the internets, and we stream it live over on my channel on Wednesday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to check that out and come and see what's going on with the finale of that, and come watch The Crippler and Stranglevine and Kung Fu Spaghetti and Dragonus and the rest of the crew really going at it.
About that last night, I forgot to tell you about it.
Ooh.
I had a dream that one of the characters like rolled really poorly, and they were about to die. And then I told you, if anything bad is about to happen or someone's about to die, get me on the call, and I'll come on and be like Deadpool or something and just come out of nowhere and like help them. And that's what happened.
Oh man, that'd be pretty good. That's some good fourth wall breaking, but I'm down for it. It's gonna be exciting. I've got something really cool planned, and I hope my players have a good time. I'm gonna have a good time. And come by and check it out tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know it's not Nintendo, but it's something I like to do. So, but you can catch all of our past episodes in video form over on YouTube at youtube.com/@the Nintendo Rewind. Visit our website for all of our social media links and garbage like that. Maybe consider supporting the show by buying some merch or signing up for some memberships. Put some money in old Chris's pocket. That way we can get him a pair of headphones that aren't broken, or maybe a Nintendo Switch too. It'd be really cool. And thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, we're live every Tuesday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, rewinding and recapping last week for Nintendo. Thank you guys for watching. Remember, please be kind and rewind, and we will catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.